Hi, I'm Adi, Director of Product at Oasis Security. Thanks for joining us. Today we're diving into one of the most urgent shifts in cybersecurity, AI. AI is changing not just what's possible, but what needs to be protected. And non-human identities are now the front line. We're excited to have so many security leaders, developers, and engineers join us today. Whether you're already deploying Gen AI agents in production or just experimenting with LLMs, this session will give you the insight that you need in order to secure your AI ecosystem. So why now? AI agents and tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and many other third-party or internally developed applications are moving into production at lightning speed. As they automate workflows, data access, and decision-making, the identities they use remain the same. Service accounts, API keys, access tokens. NHIs are defining the security perimeter. Let's start with a clear definition. A non-human identity is any digital identity used by software, not people, to access systems, data, or services. Think of API keys used by a chatbot, service accounts powering CI/CD pipelines, auth tokens enabling LLM agents to query Jira or Slack. These credentials allow tools like scripts, bots, or AI agents to act on your infrastructure behalf. NHIs often have broad access, long lifespan, and operate with little to no oversight. But that's not the core issue. The real problem is that traditional IAM was never designed to manage them. So they're left untracked, unmanaged, and dangerously exposed. And that's what makes them the perfect target. High privileged, low visibility, with no alerts. A sweet spot for attackers and a blind spot for defenders. Why they're risky? Non-human identities, such as service accounts, workload identities, or API keys, are critical for the functioning of modern digital infrastructure. These identities act on your system behalf, often with the far greater privileges that even the most senior human administrator has. Unlike human accounts, NHIs don't enroll in multi-factor authentication, don't rotate passwords by default, and frequently lack proper governance policy enforcement. This absence of traditional security controls makes NHIs a high-value target for cyber attackers. Once compromised, an NHI can grant an attacker undetected and persistent access deep into their sensitive environments. For instance, in December 2024, BeyondTrust experienced a breach in which a compromised API key for their remote support SaaS platform was exploited. This single NHIs led to a significant incident at the US Treasury, allowing attackers to access employee workstations and unclassified documents. Such incidents illustrate how a single vulnerable non-human identity can become the gateway for large-scale breaches and even national security incidents. Unfortunately, as organizations adopt more cloud services and microservice architectures, which is good, the number of non-human identities has exploded. Non-human identities have become the primary attack vector for compromising systems and stealing data, as evidenced by dozens of major breaches in the recent years. Organizations must recognize that NHIs are not just technical infrastructure artifacts. They're a rapidly growing cybersecurity liability. Failing to manage and secure them is leaving enterprises dangerously exposed to sophisticated supply chain attacks, cloud environment intrusion, and devastating data leaks. So we understood that non-human identities have been growing for over a decade, driven by cloud, automation, and DevOps. But AI is now amplifying that growth dramatically in 4 key ways. 1. Every AI agent needs access to tools, data, and infrastructure. Whether it's querying a database, updating a ticket, or sending a message, AI systems don't run in isolation. They interact with your environment, and every action needs authenticated access. That's an NHI. Second, LLM don't just run one task, they spawn many sub-processes. A single prompt might trigger an agent to call APIs, fetch files, summarize results, and push updates across systems. Each step typically uses a different service or credential, resulting in a web of machine identities behind a single workflow. AI is also replacing manual and repetitive work with autonomous agents. What used to be handled by the human, like generating reports, singing tickets, or processing emails, is now being handed off to Gen AI-powered tools. Every task is delegated to an agent, and this agent requires its own identity to act on the system behalf. And last one, AI is speeding up software development itself. With LLM-assisted coding, more teams are launching more apps, scripts, and automations faster than ever. Each one of these adds new integrations and credentials to your environment. Why traditional IAM breaks down? IAM assumes identities are human, centrally managed, and scoped at creation. NHIs challenge all of that. Decentralized creations, teams across the organization create credentials with no central system of record. There is no visibility. IAM doesn't track what lives in scripts, CI configs, or plugging scaffolds. The access is static, reuse is dynamic. Credentials get reused across workflows with changing scope. And there is no intent tracking. IAM sees API calls, but not why an AI agent made them. Traditional tools see the access, but not the actor or the reason. And that's the blind spot. As organizations grapple with the explosive growth of non-human identities, securing these identities and the AI services and the application that rely on them has become an urgent priority. Traditional identity security practices fall short because NHIs often operate invisibly in the background with powerful permissions, yet lacking human oversight. To truly reduce risk, security teams need a practical, repeatable approach that goes beyond static inventories and one-time scans. They need continuous visibility into how NHIs are created, where they are used, and whether their behavior aligns with the expected patterns. The framework outlined here provides a pragmatic path forward, inventorying all the NHIs, classifying and scoping their use, and actively monitoring and governing their behavior. This approach helps organizations transform NHIs from hidden liability into a manageable security domain, ensuring that even the most privileged non-human identities operate under strict control and oversight. Ultimately, it's about moving from blind trust in non-human identities to real-time security assurance, a critical step for safety-enabling modern cloud architectures, DevOps pipelines, and advanced AI initiatives. What are the 3 steps to control NHI risk? Inventory NHIs, find all credentials across teams and tools. Classify and scope, map usage, ownership, and privileges. And monitor and govern. Track behavior, automate ETLs, set controls. This gives you the runtime visibility over identities, not just their creation. So we don't want to block AI, right? We want to secure it. Most enterprises miss the chance to migrate to the cloud security. What started as a lift and shift became an access sprawl, credentials, and risk scattered across environments. Let's not make the same mistake with AI. Security shouldn't be afterthought or cleanup job. The better path is clear. Embrace AI, but do it with control. When you secure your non-human identities behind AI from day one, you don't slow down innovation. You accelerate it with trust built in. So what are our key takeaways? AI is fundamentally transforming how organizations operate, but it also multiplying the number of non-human identities across your environment at an unprecedented pace. Every new AI service, automated workflow, microservice, and cloud integration introduces more machine identities, API keys, tokens, and secrets, many of which possess powerful privileges and broad access to sensitive systems and data. Most of these NHIs remain unmanaged, over-permissioned, and practically invisible. Unlike human users, they don't enroll in multi-factor authentication, they rarely have a clear ownership, and they often accumulate excessive permissions over time. As a result, they create a massive blind spot that attackers are increasingly exploiting as entry points for the breaches, lateral movement, and data exfiltration. Yet, despite the risk, organizations don't have to choose between innovation and security. With comprehensive visibility, taking control, and clearly defined ownership, it's entirely possible to enable AI securely. By discovering all NHIs, understanding their purpose and privileges, and continuously monitoring their behavior, you can transform NHIs from unmanaged risk into a well-governed asset. The key is shifting from static security snapshots to dynamic runtime oversight so you can embrace AI-driven growth without scarifying your security posture. The stakes are high, but with the right strategy, your organization can harness the power of AI while keeping your most critical system and data protected. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed. And if you'd like our NHI checklist or demo or just a quick advisory call, just let us know.